This is a public crash out and an intervention at the same time. Hi, hello, and welcome back to another knitting podcast. Not sure how many elements of a podcast we are gonna have today, but here goes nothing. So, I am holding an intervention for myself because I need to be stopped. I am so overwhelmed by my own doing. I have brought this upon myself. I am fully aware of that, and I'm gonna sort my priorities and all of my knitting plans for the rest of the year because I need to stop myself from taking on way too much again. The first very big thing that I need to get on the way, because it's not just me that wants to do it, it is also tied to stakeholders. I'm trying to increase shareholder value here, okay? This is my sweaty season sweater. It is currently being finalized as a pattern, and the tester call is going to be released next week. So if you're up for testing, if you enjoy doing test knits, then yeah, keep your eyes peeled. Also, this pattern has been tech edited. So I know there are some people who do not like to test knit patterns that haven't been tech edited. And also, this is the first garment pattern that I've ever made. So this would have probably turned out really bad if I hadn't had it tech edited. So there's that. My tech editor actually had a lot of notes. So let's see if I can get those fixed in time. Yeah, that is plan number one, priority number one. But I guess, I hope, in the test knit there are only gonna come up minor changes. So the majority of the work has been done, is going to be done tomorrow. And then I hope it's all smooth sailing from there. Also, I would like to issue a warning. I have used this book to grade my sweater, and my tech editor gave so many things back to me that were related to the measurements. So I'm pretty sure the sizing standard in this book is shit, because it does what every plus size knitter ever has complained. It makes the neck bigger with every size. Like, the biggest size is gonna have a neck that is as big as my waist, and I don't think that's how human bodies work. Also, this raises a lot of problems, but it doesn't give solutions, and I do not need that in my life. Don't buy this book, buy any other book. Now that we have that out of the way, this is my biggest knitting thing this year. It's huge for me personally, and it's also taken the most amount of time of all the knitting things that I've done. So I have a few resolutions for the rest of the year to try and not stress myself out anymore and get myself back to somewhat of a zen mode. The first thing is, I want to finish my second sample of this. I have the body almost completely done. I'm at the ribbing currently, and I only have the sleeves to do. So that should be doable, right? That is very chill. I would like to add photos for the second sample once I publish the pattern, but the pattern is probably only gonna be published in October? So I have a lot of time to finish 2 sleeves, which that is good. And then, so I also had a think what kinds of knitting projects are stressing me out especially, because last year I made a lot of accessories like hats and small scarves and a pair of gloves. And I need a pair of mittens for myself, but I don't need them very badly. And the fact that accessories are small and they knit up fast means that you accumulate a lot of accessories very fast if you keep knitting them. And that is one thing that stresses me out. So no accessories for me, maybe one pair of mittens, but otherwise, no. I can make samples for the hat pattern that I'm working on, but otherwise, no. We're not doing that. Accessories are forbidden, illegal. I'm sending small scarves to Alligator Alcatraz. Therefore, I have come to the conclusion that my favorite thing to knit are sweaters. I love sweaters. Like, you can be doing them for so long. And I love wearing sweaters. I run quite cold and I like to look nice. So my remaining projects for this year are gonna be sweaters exclusively. We have my sample number 2. Then I promised my boyfriend a sweater for his birthday, which was in February. And I had been thinking about self-drafting it, but I don't think I have that in me. Like, I do not have the energy to think about any more numbers the next few months, so I'm not gonna put any pressure on myself. And I will be making someone else's pattern. I will be making him a piano sweater, and it is knit flat, it is intarsia. And I don't usually love intarsia, but this being only 3 colors, I think this should be doable. And by doable, I mean I maybe will want to set fire to this project a little bit less. If you're interested, I will be knitting this out of Drops Charisma because my boyfriend isn't bothered by scratchy yarns like myself, which is good. I like Drops Charisma. I think it makes a very beautiful fabric and it's great for color work. The other thing that I really want to get to this year, but I'm not trying to stress about it, is the BB sweater. Another spectacle strict project for me to be disappointed by and then talk shit about on the internet. So hope you're happy. Hope you're pleased. I really love the look of this. Like, she has so beautiful designs, but her construction is so shit. I will be steeking this. I'm not sure if it is steeked in the original pattern, but I will not be knitting colorwork flat. I have gotten much better at it, but steeking is more fun to me. I just prefer doing that. These are the yarns that I'm gonna be using, and I need to acquire a beige yarn and a blue yarn to make the yarn collection complete. Yeah, I'm actually very looking forward to making the BB sweater because now I have enough knowledge to compensate for apparently the non-existent knowledge on construction that this designer has. I'm being such a bitch. I'm sorry. I should stop. I should stop. Yeah, I have enough experience self-drafting and constructing sweaters at this point that I can just compensate for anything that I don't like in that pattern. And nothing calms me down like a colorwork project. I just like being busy with a lot of colors and stranded colorwork and knitting with both of my hands. That calms me down a lot. I love it. And then there is a totally optional project. So my boyfriend is extremely appreciative of anything that I knit for him. And I saw this like polar bear Fair Isle sweater and it looks epic. I don't think the pattern is gonna be hard and it's only 2 colors. So if I find myself with all of my sweater projects finished around the start of December, then I will be making this for him for Christmas. And if I don't get around to it, then I'm just gonna give him something else for Christmas that, I don't know. I have a few ideas, it doesn't have to be the sweater, but I really want to make this sweater. It looks really cool and it looks fun to knit. Yeah, then also I am not allowed to write any new patterns. There's one hat pattern that I've started on that I need to get finished. I need to revise all of the math again, which for a hat pattern shouldn't be that bad. And I want to make a colorwork version with colorwork on the brim. And I already made that hat, but it didn't fit over my head, so I'm gonna have to crunch some numbers again to account for the decreased amount of stretchability that the colorwork fabric has. Again, I hope it's gonna be very chill. Like, once I get myself into the state of pattern writing, I cannot chill out. I don't think I've slept very much over the last few weeks purely because I get so hyper focused and hyper fixated on all of the things that I need to do in pattern writing, and I don't think that's healthy. So I need to exercise some control over myself and my thoughts. And also, another thing that really overwhelms me is having a lot of stuff lying around, like accessories, but also yarn. If I have a lot of yarn in my stash that I have projects in mind for, I want to get to these projects, and then that stresses me out. But I also do not buy yarn on principle without having a project in mind. So that leads me to the conclusion that I will not be allowed to buy any more yarn this year. I can get the beige and the blue yarn for the BB sweater. In theory, I already have the blue yarn. I just need to dye it because it's white. But I can buy the beige yarn and that is it. I can get yarn for the polar bear sweater, but that's gonna be in December, so no need to worry about that already. And another thing is I will most likely not gonna be making any gift knits this year. If someone from my very close family asks me for one, then I'm gonna make it. I think you all know the story about the mittens that I made for my grandpa last year, and last year I made the conscious decision I will make sure that I get to making these mittens because it might be the last thing that I make for him. And it was, in fact, the last thing I made for him. So I'm very glad I did that. And like, I don't want to imply I expect my grandmother to kick the bucket anytime soon. She doesn't watch these videos, but like, if she's gonna ask me to make her something, I will. Nothing implied here, nothing implied. Also, my brother, he's currently like building a camper van, and he might need some things, like for me to sew him something or to crochet or to knit a small thing, then I'm gonna do that. Although my brother is still in very good health. What is going on in my brain? I need to lie down for at least 3 days. Yes, so these are all the things that I will not be doing. And of course, I came up with a bunch of things to do instead. Not knitting related. I have some personal goals, and all of these goals aim towards making me feel better and less stressed again. I have quite a stressful full-time job. I work in an advertising agency, and if you are working in any sort of service providing job, you know how that is. So yeah, I gotta be taking care of myself in my free time. This is my attempt. Item number 1. I have started a training plan for running. I am currently training for a 10K. I haven't been seriously running for that long. Like, I can do a 5K just fine. I can now do a 10K just fine. I ran a 10K like I think a month ago, and that went much better than expected, even though my training wasn't like super structured. So I want to do a second 10K in October just to get a bit faster, because next year I maybe will attempting a half marathon in a very big, very nice European city. I'm not gonna say which one yet. And the cutoff time for that race, like some races, if you're not a runner, some races have cutoff times, which is the maximum amount of time that you're allowed to take before they close down the race. Like, you're gonna get to the finish line and there's nothing there. You ran 21K for nothing, basically. And the half marathon that I've picked out, it has a very like mean cutoff time. The cutoff time for the half marathon is 2 hours 45, which I would have to get 30 minutes faster than I run currently. I don't think I'm in a shape to run 21 kilometers at all right now. So I have some work to do. But yeah, this is me stressing myself out again. No, we're not doing that. I am gonna do a 10K in October. I do have a goal, and I don't think that goal is like super unachievable. I ran my last 10K in 1 hour 26. Yes, I'm slow. Like, I have time. I can take my time. I have free will. I can take as long as I want to, okay? So yeah, it was 32 degrees outside when we did that race, so I didn't want to collapse and die, which is why I took it slow. I don't think I would have been able to run any faster if it had been cooler, but just humor me, okay? So that 10K took me 126, and I do want to get to 110 or 115. I would be so happy with that, and I think that is doable. I have a lot of room to improve, and I've already improved a lot. I'm now on week 3 of my training plan, and I've already seen so much improvement, which is crazy. So I will be sticking to that training plan. It's giving me 2 runs per week, like a speedier workout run on Wednesdays and then a long run on Sundays. And I don't know how people do it who run more than twice a week, because do you not have a job? Do you not have a household to run? Do you not have like a body to maintain, like take showers and eat? How does everyone do it? I can do 2 times a week max. So that is what I'm gonna be doing. Also, one thing that helps me a lot with my mental health is reading. In 2020, I read 100 books in that 1 year, and I found out that is too much for me. I cannot remember anything I read if I read in that quantity. So I'm just not gonna put a number. My lunch break is over. I'm just not gonna put a number on it, and I'm just gonna read for fun. I was thinking about making a bonus book video if you're interested in that, because I love talking about books. So I will be reading for 10 minutes each day before I go to bed. And if I manage to get up early enough in the morning, then I'm also gonna read in the morning, but that's not working out currently. I'm very bad at getting up early. Yeah, also I have had a lot of fun making YouTube videos. I think I've really found my flow and my content niche and all of the things that I like talking about. And I also enjoy reading from you all so much. I just love this little corner of the internet where nobody's afraid to say what they think. And I think that is so cool. So my goal is, I'm putting this out there now, I want to make one YouTube video per week. And I'm gonna try to really stick to that. My last to-do for my mental health, to not crash out anymore in the future, hopefully, is to go on vacation. I have 2 weeks of work in August and I've already booked like a little cottage in the woods near a lake that has no Wi-Fi, where hopefully no email can find me, and I will be sitting there outside with my books and maybe my knitting, and I'm just gonna switch off my brain for like 6 days, and I cannot wait. I actually am so ready to go on vacation. So yeah, that is how I'm trying to stop myself, honestly. I hope you enjoyed this like different kind of video. Let me know in the comments, please, what's your go-to thing to do when you find yourself getting overwhelmed? Or maybe you even have coping mechanisms for it when you already notice that it's slowly getting too much. Is knitting ever getting too much for you, or are you good at keeping it at just a hobby level, unlike me? So yeah, I would love to hear from you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Bye!